Hello Reapers, my name's Seth and we are back here for some more Trove to Trove. So one of the biggest things that people are constantly asking, even though I did actually answer it in a handful of videos that I ended up already putting out over the past couple weeks, is what weapon is the Vanguard using, and people still asking whether the class is going to be physical or magical based damage. Now, I'm here to confirm that it is going to be physical damage 100%. This is not a hybrid character that's going to oddly use physical and magic damage at the same time. I know that that was a very weird assumption that we all ended up making on that, but the character is a fist-fighting ranged character, so, you know, it kind of makes sense, but it didn't really make sense as far as Trove was concerned. Not to mention the developers kept hinting at it and kind of saying that they didn't want to talk about the damage that it was using and stuff like that, but yes, it is going to be a physical-based character. We did already learn all of this stuff on the test server, but I know that there's some people that are coming into Trove right now that didn't get the opportunity to play with the character on the test server. So you're also sitting there wondering, how can you best prepare yourself for that class? How are you going to be able to set yourself up with gear that is going to be appropriate for the character? Now, you're going to be able to get some stuff ready, but not all of it, in that the character's weapon, more particularly, you're not going to be able to get prepared for, folks, because the character, the Vanguard, is going to be the first character that's going to be using a fist weapon. So this is a new weapon type being added to Trove. Now, what this means is that day one, stellar versions of that weapon are going to be very, very expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if that lasts a month, because this is going to be a brand new character that people are going to be grinding out for the next few weeks, if not months, especially if you're a 100% free-to-play player and you don't even go the credits route of actually purchasing the class, right? I've got other videos of how you actually attain the Vanguardian, but the important thing is that it's going to be using a new weapon type, meaning that the only way that we're going to be able to actually get that weapon to be tradable is we're going to have to get the character strong enough that we can start going through Shadow Tower runs and then get lucky enough to actually get one of his weapons as a drop. Now, recently there was an event where we could re-roll the second stat on any of our gear. That is gone. That is finished. That is, you know, it's not there anymore, and it's going to take a very long time before that event comes back again. Now, the reason this is important is because while you might end up finding some tradable stellar gear for the character, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to find one that has the ideal second stat. So the best second stat that you're going to want to go for the Vanguard, not only on his weapon, but also on his face and hat, is attack speed second stat, because this character's sole purpose is to have as much attack speed and super punch speed as you can so that you're like Goku, right? And then what you can do afterwards is kind of re-roll the fourth stat on the gear. So, you know, for a weapon, ideally you're gonna have the third stat as crit hit, fourth stat as movement speed while you're in U9, maybe randomize that off to crit damage while you're in Ultra Towers, just so that you have that extra damage. I still just like having the movement speed in general. Man alive, so many Diamond Dragonites today. And then for the, you know, face is going to end up being similar, where you need the third stat to be physical damage, and then the fourth stat is going to end up being movement speed or crit damage, and then the hat is going to be the exact same thing, outside of the fact that the third stat you're going to want to go for is going to be Magic Find. Now, the other way that you can actually prepare for this character is by getting your gems ready. So you can, if you have a physical set of gems, you can just swap them off to the character pretty much as soon as you're able to. So for example, with my knight right here, I'm very fortunate in that I have like all of the perfect physical gems that I need for the character. So I'm going to be super duper powerful. On top of that, out of empowered gem boxes, I ended up also getting these two Pyrodisc gems right here, which I'm going to have to augment like a crazy person. But at least it does mean that I can get them onto my Vanguard, because a Pyrodisc is going to be another gem that I would say is kind of required, especially if you want to have like a super duper U9 speed build. I never was fortunate enough to have Pyrodisc on all my characters. Now I actually finally have a double set, so I can swap it onto two different characters at the same time. One I'm going to put on my Draco, because Draco is going to be another character that you can work towards. If you don't have a physical set of like gems and gear and stuff like that, and you just have a magic set, don't worry, because you can just move all that to your Draco, and then you're going to be really good in Shadow Towers, all right? So hopefully that ended up answering all the questions that you guys had about the Vanguard, because I know there's been a lot of people still to this day asking, like, what weapons does it use? What base damage is it going to use? And yeah, so now that the update has actually been confirmed for March 27th, it's really, really exciting, and it's really, really hype, because now we know that we can get a whole bunch of grinding done as soon as that ends up coming out, right? But in any case, thanks for watching, folks. Sayonara, and stay epic.